Hello dear students of class 9th, welcome to history class. I hope all of you are fit and healthy. Students, in this video, I shall be continuing with the MCQ session of the first chapter of history, that is, the French Revolution. Students, in the previous video, I explained 5 questions and in this video, I will be continuing with the explanation of the remaining questions. So, let's get started with the 6th question. That is there on your screen. So, the 6th question is, the philosopher who sought to refute the doctrine of the divine and absolute right of monarch is dash. The options are option A, Rousseau, option B, John Locke, option C, Spinoza, and option D, Montesquieu. Now students, before I explain you about this question, let me talk about the middle class people. See, that time during the French Revolution, I told you that the complete society was divided into 3 states, the first, second and the third state. And the third state comprised of the poor people, the peasants, the artisans, right? But after that, what happened? A new class emerged. That means the middle class people. The people who were not so rich and not so poor, the middle class people, they emerged. This group emerged. Now, how did they emerge? See, they became prosperous. Some people of the third state, they became prosperous. Now, how did they become prosperous? They became prosperous by doing overseas trade, by manufacturing. And since they were prosperous, they had access to education. And so, they read about several books, they read the philosophy of several philosophers, some books they read, and then they believed that no society, no group of people should be discriminated, they should be treated equally, right? So, they got inspired by several philosophers, the middle class people. Since they had access to education, they got inspired by several philosophers, and several philosophers like John Locke, Montesquieu, Rousseau, these were certain eminent philosophers with whom the middle class people got inspired to. So, all the philosophers, they had their own point of view, they had their own philosophy, and they also wrote several books. So, this question is regarding the philosophy who sought to refute the doctrine of the divine and absolute right. Refute means to refuse, that there should not be absolute monarchy. The monarchy should not be the head. The monarchy should not be the whole and soul of everything. So, this philosophy was refuted according to the doctrine of one philosopher. So, you need to name that philosopher, that according to whom this was, means this was the philosophy of which philosopher. So, let me tell you students that this is the philosophy of John Locke, that is option number C. Option number C is the correct answer. Now students, if I am talking about the philosophers, let me talk about the books that were written by these philosophers, which is also really very important. Questions may come regarding the name of the book written by certain philosophers. So, let me tell you students that the name of the book of John Locke was Two Treatises of Government. This was the name of the book. Now, if I talk about Rousseau, then Rousseau, the name of the book was Social Contract, and the book written by Montesquieu was The Spirit of the Laws. So, these books you need to keep in mind. They are really very important. Okay. So, I hope this question is clear to everybody. Now, students, let's proceed with the next question. That is question number 7th. Now students, let's proceed with the next question, that is question number 7th. So question number 7th is, on 5th May 1789, Louis XVI called together an assembly for the state. So students, question number 7th is, on 5th May 1789, Louis XVI called together an assembly of the State General for what? That means Louis XVI, he called an State General meeting. And what is the reason, what is the purpose of that meeting that was called by Louis XVI? The options provided are: option A, to pass proposals for new taxes; option B, to discuss the economic crisis; option C, to give voting rights to the third state; and option D, all of the above. So students, let me tell you that Louis XVI, he called the meeting of State General. Now what is the State General? State General refers to the representatives of all the three states. Now why did he call the meeting? As I already told you that when Louis XVI ascended the throne, he found an empty treasury. So he wanted to fill that treasury, and in order to fill that treasury, he wanted to increase tax on the third state. So that is why a meeting was called of the representatives of all the three states, so that the proposal regarding new taxes could be passed. So that is why this meeting was called. And let me tell you that definitely this meeting was called of the representatives of all the three states, but the third state left that meeting. You know why it left, the people of third state left that meeting? Because they did not get equal voting rights, or their vote value was not considered equal, and since their vote value was not considered equal, they left that meeting there itself. So the correct answer will be option number A, that means to pass proposals for new taxes. Why? In order to fill the royal treasury. Okay. Now students, let's proceed with the next question that you can see on the screen. So the next question is: the representatives of the third state assembled in the hall of an indoor tennis court in the ground of Versailles. They declared themselves as dash. The options are: option A, convention; option B, National Assembly; option C, tennis court oath; and option D, none of the above. So students, as I explained you in the previous question, that a meeting of a State General was called in order to pass proposal for imposition of new taxes, in order to increase in order to fill the royal treasury. And there the representatives of the third state, they left that meeting. Why they left that meeting? Because they did not get equal vote value. Their voting rights were not equal as compared to the vote value of the first two states. So they left that meeting since their demands were not fulfilled, since they did not get equal vote value. And then at that point itself, they left that meeting, and then they assembled where? They assembled in the hall of an indoor tennis court. There was a tennis court, and in that hall, all the representatives of the third state, they assembled there in the ground of Versailles, and then they declared themselves as National Assembly. That means a new political party was formed by the representatives of third state called National Assembly. So this is option number B is the right answer for this question. So I hope that this question is clear to everybody. Now students, let's proceed with the next question. Now students, let's proceed with the next question, that is question number 9th. So question number 9th is: who wrote an influential pamphlet, What is the Third State? So the heading of the pamphlet is What is the Third State? And the question is regarding who wrote this pamphlet. The options are: option A, Mirabeau; option B, Abesius; option C, Jean-Paul Marat; and option D, Olympe de Gouges. Students, let me tell you that this pamphlet, that means What is the Third State, this was written by a priest of the church. That means a clergy. This was written by a clergy who belonged to the first state, but he supported the people of the third state because he considered that everybody is equal. They should be given equal vote value. They should be considered at par with everybody. So he was actually a clergy, but he supported the people of third state. And you know, the name of the man who written this was Abesius. Okay, please remember that Abesius was a clergy. That means he belonged to the first state. So the correct option will be option number B. Now students, let's proceed with the next question, that is question number 10th. So question number 10th is, as you can see on the screen, on 14th July, the king ordered troops to move into Paris. Identify the reasons for this. See, I told you in the very first video only that the king had ordered his troops to move into the city. And the people of the city, that means people of Paris, they were unaware that why the king sent his men. But out of aggression, out of scaredness, they attacked on the Bastille fort. Now the question is regarding the actual reasons why the king sent his people to move into the city with arms and ammunitions. So we have several points here and you need to identify the points that are correct for this. So point number A. So point number A is, a severe winter had a bad harvest. Point B, the price of bread rose. Often bakers exploited the situation and hoarded supplies. Point number C, crowds of angry women stormed into the shops. And option D, the angry crowd was on its way to destroy the ripe crops. Now students, you know why the king ordered his men to move into the city with arms and ammunitions? See, the first point is, a severe winter had a bad harvest. See, because of winter, because of that extreme climate, the crops were completely destroyed. Means the harvest was really very poor. Since population was growing, it was rising. So the growing population could not keep pace with the supply of food grains. So this is one reason. See, the king thought that if the people will know, see, cut this line. See students, the king thought that people may fight among themselves or they may attack the king also, because the situation was not favorable. The people were going through subsistence crisis. They were not having proper food grains. They could not afford to buy proper food grains because the price of food grains increased and their wages were comparatively very low. So they couldn't afford. So they were facing the situation of subsistence crisis. So this was one reason. So that the people could not fight among themselves, he ordered his men to move into the city to handle the situation there. So this is one reason. So point A is correct. Now point B, the price of bread rose. Often bakers exploited the situation and hoarded supplies. Definitely, since there was bad harvest, since the population was increasing. So if there will be bad harvest, that means the supply of food grains reduced, and as a result of which the price increased. And there was cheating going on. The bakers, they exploited this situation. So this is also a correct reason why the king ordered his men to move into the city. So option B is also one reason. Option C, crowds of angry women stormed into the shops. See, this is not the correct reason why king ordered his men. So option C is absolutely wrong. And option number D, or point number D, the angry crowd was on its way to destroy ripe crops. One second. I am giving the explanation of point number 4 again. Now students, let's see the fourth point, that is point number D, that is crowds of angry, cut this line. The angry crowd was on its way to destroy the ripe crops. Definitely, since they did not had sufficient money, they did not afford to have food grains, so they were very angry. The entire mob that was very angry, and they were destroying the field, they were destroying the ripe crops. So this is also one reason. So in order to control the situation that time, the king ordered his men to move into the city, which the people misinterpreted, and they thought that the king is attacking us. The king had ordered his men to attack us, but which was not correct. The correct reasons are these. So option A, B and D are the correct reasons for the king sending his troops into the city. So the correct option will be option number A, that is A, B and D. So I hope this question is clear to everybody. Now students, let's proceed with the next question, that is question number 11th. So question number 11th is, choose the correct pair from column A and column B. As you can see, two columns are given, column A and column B, and you have to choose the I am repeating the question. Now students, let's proceed with the next question, that is question number 11th. So question number 11th, as you can see on the screen, is choose the incorrect pair from column A and column B. So as you can see, column A is given and column B is given, and you need to choose the incorrect pair. Alright. So in column A, we have 4 points, that is A, we have scraper. Scraper matches with a symbol of royal power. Is it correct? Yes, it is correct. Scraper symbolizes royal power. So A is correct. Now the second, B, the broken chain, and in column B it is mentioned a symbol of eternity. See, eternity means having no end, but if it comes to broken chain, it signifies or it shows freedom. So option B is incorrect. That means the broken chain, it symbolizes freedom, but here it is mentioned eternity. So this one is the incorrect pair. Now let us see the other pairs also, that is C and D. In C we have winged woman, and it matches with personification of law. Yes, it is absolutely correct. The winged women shows personification of law. It symbolizes or it personifies law. That means everybody is equal before the law. And the fourth one, the bundle of rods, and it matches with or strength lies in unity. Definitely, if one rod will be there, it can easily be broken, but if a bundle of rods will be there, it cannot be easily broken, which signifies unity. So C and D are also correct. So the incorrect pair will be option number B, that means the broken chain and eternity. So I hope that this question is clear to everybody. The students, I'll be discussing a few more questions in the next video. Till then, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this video, and do study well, study hard, and do take care of yourselves. Thank you so much.